revolutionizing pain relief without opioids. Pain management has long come with a steep cost. While potent opioid medications have proven effective in alleviating discomfort, they've left behind a tragic trail: widespread addiction, growing dependence, and countless lives claimed by overdose. However, a pivotal shift began in 2024. This year marked a turning point, with scientists, medical professionals, and researchers achieving remarkable progress in non-opioid alternatives that have the potential to transform pain treatment, delivering comfort without the looming danger of addiction. The opioid epidemic is more than just a set of numbers, it's a contradiction. How can something intended to heal end up causing so much destruction? Opioids have been a mainstay in pain therapy for generations. They've played a critical role in post-operative recovery, chronic illness care, and relieving unbearable pain. Yet, their benefits are shadowed by significant downsides: dependency, increased tolerance, and diminishing effectiveness as the body adjusts to their presence. This contradiction has compelled the scientific community to search for safer, more sustainable ways to relieve suffering. In 2024, this determination gave rise to several revolutionary non-opioid solutions, each introducing a novel perspective on how we understand and manage pain. One of the most groundbreaking developments is FEM1689, a novel compound crafted by scientists at the University of Texas at Austin. In contrast to traditional opioids, FEM1689 operates completely differently. It doesn't engage with opioid receptors at all. Instead, it influences what's known as the integrated stress response (ISR), a cellular defense system that helps the body handle injury, stress, and disease. By regulating this response, FEM1689 lowers pain sensitivity and boosts cellular repair, offering relief without the risk of addiction. Another notable advancement is Sustrine, a non-opioid pain-relieving drug developed by Vertex Pharmaceuticals. This medication zeroes in on specific pain signaling routes within the nervous system. Although its phase 2 trials yielded mixed results, as it didn't significantly outperform a placebo, its development represents an essential stepping stone in perfecting non-opioid pain management. In research, even setbacks contribute to progress, helping refine future innovations. A third promising drug is SRP-001, created at LSU Health in New Orleans. This treatment is both non-toxic and non-addictive, and it passed its phase 1 clinical evaluations with success, proving to be both safe and effective. The FDA even awarded it a fast-track designation, a distinction given to medicines that address critical healthcare needs. SRP-001 isn't merely another pain medication, it symbolizes a future where science emphasizes safety alongside effectiveness. Importantly, the landscape of pain research is being reshaped by more than human intellect. Artificial intelligence is now playing a transformative role in how we discover and test new treatments. Institutions like the Cleveland Clinic and IBM are using AI to sift through vast databases, identify new molecular candidates, and even find new uses for existing medications. These smart systems can forecast how a drug will interact with the human body well before human trials begin, cutting down on cost, time, and even potential harm. But these breakthroughs go beyond chemical engineering. They're addressing a core challenge: the complexity of pain itself. Pain isn't just physical, it's influenced by mental state, emotional experiences, and social surroundings. Two individuals with the same injury may report wildly different levels of discomfort. This subjective nature makes pain one of the hardest conditions to assess and treat. Non-opioid approaches are tackling this problem by focusing on targeted neural pathways, allowing for more customized treatment plans. This can reduce the guesswork and trial and error method that currently defines much of pain care. Nevertheless, obstacles remain. New treatments must pass stringent clinical testing to prove not just their effectiveness, but also their long-term safety. Health systems around the world will need to adapt to these changes, ensuring that doctors and patients are educated about opioid-free options. As with any scientific leap, accessibility and affordability will determine how far-reaching the impact will be. Will these innovations remain confined to well-funded hospitals, or can they truly reach communities everywhere? Still, what's undeniable is that the direction has changed. Non-opioid treatments are no longer futuristic dreams. They're emerging now, and they're progressing rapidly. Every innovation takes us a step closer to a future where pain relief doesn't require a trade-off, where patients can find comfort without spiraling into addiction. The discoveries of 2024 remind us of something powerful. Science doesn't merely patch up old problems, it reshapes what's possible. The battle against pain isn't over, but for the first time in many years, a new and hopeful path is emerging, one that promises relief that is precise, enduring, and safe from addiction. And that, perhaps, is the most meaningful breakthrough of all. Unearthing life's deepest roots. Visualize a journey that traces all forms of life, every human, animal, plant, and microscopic organism, back to one origin. Not as a poetic notion, but as a scientific reality. In the year 2024, researchers accomplished something extraordinary. They revealed the most intricate and accurate profile yet of Luca, the last universal common ancestor. This wasn't merely another scientific find, it was a groundbreaking revelation about the beginning of all known biological life on Earth. Luca does not represent the very first living entity, but rather the most recent predecessor that all existing organisms descend from. Think of Luca as the original trunk from which the entire biological tree has branched out. According to modern estimates, Luca lived about 4.2 billion years ago, during an era when Earth was still forming, chaotic, constantly struck by meteorites, and flooded with extreme temperatures and radiation. For a long time, many assumed this young Earth was far too violent and unstable for life to exist. However, the revelation of Luca contradicts that belief. What's especially astonishing isn't just Luca's presence in that early time, but the unexpected complexity it possessed. Scientists once envisioned Luca as an extremely basic organism, barely more organized than a loose assembly of molecules. But the latest studies reveal a far richer picture. Luca's genetic structure, or genome, contained an estimated 2,600 active proteins, indicating it was already quite sophisticated and versatile. This suggests that life didn't merely appear during Earth's fiery infancy, it thrived, and it did so at an impressive speed. But where exactly did Luca live? Experts propose that Luca likely inhabited hydrogen-rich surroundings, perhaps near deep-sea hydrothermal vents or in shallow aquatic environments just beneath the surface. These habitats would have provided essential chemical energy, enabling life to endure and adapt. But Luca wasn't merely surviving, it was evolving. Scientific evidence shows Luca had systems in place to repair cellular damage from ultraviolet rays. That means Luca likely lived close enough to the surface to interact with sunlight. Rather than being fragile, Luca was a durable and ingenious life form, carving out existence in a brutal and unpredictable world. Why is this so significant? Because decoding Luca's traits helps us do more than understand our past. It challenges how we interpret evolution itself. Luca's advanced biological makeup suggests that complex life systems developed much earlier than anyone had previously thought. This reframes our understanding of Earth's biological timeline and opens a door to speculating about life elsewhere. If Luca could flourish in harsh, hydrogen-heavy environments, what's stopping life from existing on other planets or moons with similar conditions? Places like Europa or Enceladus, moons rich in water and energy sources, may host their own versions of Luca. This discovery doesn't only speak of our origins. It also expands our imagination about the cosmic possibilities of life. Yet, aside from its scientific depth, Luca carries an emotional resonance. It's a gentle reminder that every flower, every buzzing insect, Every person on this planet shares a remote yet real genetic link. The molecular blueprint that helped Luca persist is still encoded in our DNA today. We are all co-authors of an ancient biological narrative inscribed in proteins passed down across billions of years. Uncovering Luca also shifts our perception of life's durability. If something as fragile yet intricate as a primordial organism managed to endure Earth's savage beginnings, it proves that life isn't just tenacious, it is brilliantly adaptive. Life doesn't merely hang on, it innovates. Still, this milestone is far from the end of the Luca story. Each scientific step forward brings with it new questions. How did Luca develop such sophistication so early? What forces of evolution shaped its abilities? And most intriguingly, what came before Luca? This discovery is more than a piece in Earth's puzzle, it's a clue to a broader, universal truth. Life, even in its earliest and most vulnerable stages, was courageous, clever, and impossibly persistent. So, the next time you walk under a leafy canopy, hear the chirping of a bird, or gaze into your own reflection, pause to remember. Deep beneath the tangled web of our shared biological history lies Luca, a microscopic trailblazer who made all of this possible. Every creature, every breath, every heartbeat carries within it a piece of that incredible beginning. Harnessing the mind. What if enhancing memory, easing depression, or aiding stroke recovery didn't require invasive surgery, heavy medications, or months of rehabilitation? Imagine being able to recalibrate the brain's electrical rhythms with precision without making a single incision. This is not futuristic fiction. It's the fast-evolving world of non-invasive neurostimulation, a groundbreaking advancement in neuroscience that is redefining human health in ways we could hardly envision a decade ago. At its essence, the brain functions as a complex web of billions of neurons that interact through minuscule bursts of electricity. These microscopic signals influence every aspect of life, our thoughts, emotions, memories, and physical actions. When this electrical balance is disrupted by mental health disorders, degenerative conditions, or stroke, the results can be profoundly life-altering. That's where non-invasive brain stimulation (NIB) steps in. This revolutionary method seeks to restore neurological harmony without the need for surgical tools. It uses external instruments to transmit magnetic or electrical impulses through the scalp, targeting specific brain areas. Among the most prominent approaches today are transcranial magnetic stimulation (TMS) and transcranial direct current stimulation (TDCS). TMS uses powerful magnetic fields to stimulate targeted brain circuits. It's already been approved by the FDA for treating major depression and obsessive-compulsive disorder (OCD) and is being explored for other neurological and psychiatric applications. In contrast, TDCS applies gentle electrical currents via electrodes on the scalp, slightly adjusting brain activity. This approach is under investigation for use in cognitive improvement, stroke rehabilitation, and even memory enhancement. These techniques are already transforming lives, but 2024 has taken them even further. This year has seen breakthrough improvements in accuracy, effectiveness, and scalability. First, researchers have integrated AI-driven algorithms capable of mapping brain circuits in real time. This allows for extraordinarily precise targeting of dysfunctional brain areas, leading to greater results and fewer side effects, reducing the need for repeated trial and error sessions. Second, studies in 2024 revealed that highly targeted TMS could produce full remission in individuals who previously failed to respond to any form of medication or therapy. For millions struggling with treatment-resistant depression, this isn't just a step forward, it's a beacon of hope. Third, recent clinical trials have shown that stimulating the hippocampus, a region vital to memory, can enhance cognitive functions in patients with early-stage Alzheimer's disease. With limited treatments available for this condition, this finding is nothing short of revolutionary. These discoveries aren't limited to research labs. Many non-invasive neurostimulation therapies can now be delivered in outpatient settings and, in some cases, at home. This means lower costs, reduced hospital stays, and wider accessibility. Devices are becoming smaller, smarter, and easier to use. Envision wearable brain stimulation headsets helping people enhance focus or maintain emotional balance in daily life. The uses for this technology are expanding quickly, from aiding stroke survivors in regaining motor function to boosting creativity and attention in healthy individuals. The range of potential applications is immense and continues to grow. Yet, as we gain this ability to fine-tune the mind from the outside, we confront deep ethical challenges. Should we use these tools to enhance brain performance in otherwise healthy individuals, for instance, to improve exam performance or increase decision-making speed under pressure? Who defines what is ethical use? And how do we protect against misuse, coercion, or unintended consequences? These are not questions for scientists alone. They are questions for all of society, and they require collective reflection and responsibility. Looking ahead, researchers are diving into even more innovative applications of non-invasive neurostimulation. They're developing techniques that blend artificial intelligence and machine learning to better predict and customize treatment outcomes. There's also growing excitement about combining these brain-stimulating methods with virtual reality, creating immersive therapy experiences that adjust in real time to the brain signals. This technology is getting smarter, more responsive, and increasingly personalized. Let's bring this closer to home. Consider Sarah, a stroke patient who had lost control over her left hand. Traditional rehabilitation had brought her little progress, but after several weeks of combining non-invasive brain stimulation with physical therapy, she regained movement, strength, and independence. Stories like Sarah's are no longer rare. They are becoming more frequent as the technology improves, and they highlight an undeniable truth. This is not just about science, it's about transforming lives, renewing hope, and reimagining the future of brain health. Non-invasive neurostimulation is quickly emerging as one of the most thrilling frontiers in modern neuroscience, a synergy of biology, engineering, and ethics that is revolutionizing our grasp of how the brain works. It's addressing some of the most persistent neurological challenges, while unlocking possibilities we are only beginning to comprehend. But as with all potent technologies, the key question is not just what can be done, but how wisely we choose to apply it. Striking the right balance between innovation and ethics will be essential as we journey into this new age of mental health advancement. What's undeniable is this: the brain is no longer an untouchable enigma. It's a landscape we are learning to explore, heal, and enhance. And as we stand at the threshold of this transformation, one truth becomes crystal clear. The future of brain care is not only promising, it's electrifying. Neural nanotech, the human brain, widely considered the most intricate system in the known cosmos, is now, in the year 2024, closer than ever to revealing its hidden complexities. But instead of relying on scalpels or conventional microscopes, researchers are tapping into the power of nanotechnology, ultra-small tools that are reshaping our connection with the mind itself. These developments are forging new paths for treating brain disorders, enabling thought-controlled systems, and even enhancing cognitive function, concepts that once existed only in futuristic fiction. For decades, brain-computer interfaces (BCIs), sometimes called neural links, have aimed to establish a direct channel between the human brain and external machines. Though conceptually straightforward, early iterations came with serious flaws. They used stiff components that often harmed brain tissue and were too invasive for long-term use. Over time, signal quality would degrade, inflammation would occur, and progress would stall. But the rise of nanotechnology has changed the game entirely. Operating at molecular and atomic dimensions, scientists can now create brain interfaces that are exceptionally accurate, flexible, and gentle enough to work in harmony with neural tissue. capturing brain activity in detail never seen before. One of the most remarkable strides forward is the development of graphene-based implants. Graphene, a material made of a single atomic layer of carbon arranged in a hexagonal pattern, possesses almost otherworldly properties. It's ultralight, bendable, and conducts electricity extremely well. Researchers have created graphene neural sensors that mold themselves to the brain's natural contours, causing no harm and avoiding immune reactions. These ultra-thin devices offer high durability and can both monitor and stimulate brain functions with stunning clarity. Another major breakthrough involves flexible neural probes crafted from fluorinated elastomers. Unlike the rigid instruments used in past decades, these soft, elastic components closely mimic the texture of actual brain tissue. This minimizes inflammation and scarring, helping the devices remain functional over long periods. Studies already confirm that these advanced tools can maintain excellent signal quality over time, opening new possibilities for long-term brain-machine communication. In addition, transparent neural interfaces have begun to revolutionize how we see and record brain activity. By merging graphene sensors with optical imaging systems, scientists can now track electrical signals and watch neural behavior unfold in real time. This combined approach allows for a much deeper and more integrated understanding of how the brain operates, turning once fragmented data into a cohesive picture of living cognition. However, as these cutting-edge tools inch toward widespread adoption, they introduce significant ethical concerns. The more deeply we embed technology into our minds, the more we must confront serious questions about consent, autonomy, and mental privacy. What happens when machines can decode, or even influence, our thoughts with surgical precision? How do we prevent abuse of this power, such as surveillance or psychological manipulation? These are no longer just hypothetical dilemmas. They are urgent matters we must address as society steps into this next frontier. The range of potential uses for nano-enabled neural interfaces is vast. In healthcare, they offer a new lifeline to people living with paralysis, epilepsy, or neurodegenerative diseases. By building seamless links between brain signals and assistive devices, these interfaces could help restore mobility, suppress seizures, or slow memory loss. Outside of medicine, the scope grows even more profound. Could these systems one day boost memory, speed up learning, or even allow direct uploads of information to the brain? When it comes to human-computer interaction, we might soon control machines not with fingers or voices, but with pure mental intent. Of course, there are hurdles still ahead. Achieving long-term reliability remains critical. These devices must work safely and effectively for years, without losing performance or damaging the brain. Regulatory approval also poses a major barrier. Each innovation must undergo rigorous safety testing before becoming publicly available. And then there are the ever-present ethical issues. The integration of technology with our most private thoughts must be carefully governed, with protective systems in place to avoid misuse and preserve individual rights. Despite these challenges, the merging of nanotech and neuroscience represents one of the most exciting turning points in the history of medicine and science. Direct interaction with the brain at this level is more than a technical triumph. It's a profound shift in how we understand ourselves. It forces a re-examination of the boundaries between thought and action, humanity and machine, organic and synthetic. We are no longer simply observing the brain, we are learning to collaborate with it. Nano-driven neural interfaces are not just gadgets. They are gateways to a future where mind and machine operate in tandem. The question is no longer if they will change our world, but how we choose to shape that change. Will it empower us or control us? As we step further into this era, one truth stands clear. The brain, once considered an unknowable mystery, is slowly revealing its secrets, 1 nanometer at a time.